How's it going, guys? Vaibhav here and welcome to a video talking about the Apple iPhone 12 and iPhone 11's Face ID. This was a video I had in mind when the iPhone 12 was actually announced, but I thought I'd wait until I got the phone, and that sort of makes the video a bit more credible in my opinion. So that's why I waited this long for the video, and then it would give me the chance to compare with the 11 as well and just make a more informed judgment on what Apple's gone for this year. So this is the 12th. I unboxed it yesterday. Another first impression I want to add is it's a fingerprint magnet. So pretty much in 0.3 seconds of holding this phone, it's gonna be smudged. So if you want a good overall experience, make sure you go with a skin or a case on the phone. Just makes it a whole lot better. And yeah, if you want to check out the full unboxing, I'll leave a card above. But with that being said, let's move on to Face ID. First of all, let's start off with the visible differences. The iPhone 11 and the iPhone 12 pretty much have the exact same notch. There's no size difference, which is a bit of a shame for sure. Okay, so future me just checking in while I was editing this video. In fact, there is a difference between the notches on the iPhone 11 and iPhone 12, but the difference is so minuscule you can't really tell, and for the general consumer it's going to be that way anyway. So at the end of the day, it still takes about as much space as the iPhone 11's notch did. Also, this is a front-facing video sample from the iPhone 12 itself, 4K 30 FPS. Let me know how it looks. It's obviously scaled down, but yeah, that's a sample in this video as well. Now back to the original video. That's already making a sacrifice, considering Android smartphones, even at this price tag and lower, are giving you pretty much the best experience you can get on the screen. And given the fact that Face ID doesn't even work all of the time in 2020 because we're wearing masks, and that's one of the things that Apple had to address this year, which I feel they haven't done. To test all of this, I've made sure both the iPhone 11 and the iPhone 12 are loaded with my facial data. And with that, I'm just going to do a series of tests to show you guys which one does a faster or which one does a better job in varying circumstances. So let's cut to that. Okay, so overlaying this stuff with B-roll, it's no surprise to see that both of these smartphones perform pretty much equivalently, and for years Apple has had the cushion of saying that the technology that they use in Face ID is the best and it warrants no upgrade whatsoever. But as I said, with 2020 shaking things up, a mask is pretty much your everyday carry now. And unfortunately, Face ID doesn't seem to work with a mask on. It doesn't work on the iPhone 11 nor on the iPhone 12 with a mask, and this is a bit off-putting. The general consumer who probably faces this issue on a more regular basis might almost expect this to be fixed with a phone that's seemingly an update from the previous generation, but unfortunately it isn't the case. Now, with the introduction of the iPhone 12 series, Apple has gone for a Super Retina XDR display, which is an OLED panel on pretty much all the phones. So you're looking at an OLED display on the Mini, the normal 12, the 12 Pro, as well as the 12 Pro Max. And I think that would have been an awesome opportunity for Apple to really throw in an in-screen Touch ID of sorts, because I feel like the in-screen scanner has had time to mature over the past couple of years. We've seen iterations with it being an optical scanner, which was really slow. Then it sort of turned into the ultrasonic craze, and now it's pretty much almost consistent at all times and sort of replicates what the fingerprint scanner did when it was a hardware version rather than an in-screen version. And if not for that, at least a Touch ID button sort of built into the power button like we see on the iPad Air 2020. And this is all because Face ID, the thing that you rely on most to open your smartphone, will not work when you have to wear a mask, and that's for most of your day if you're out and about, depending on which country or which environment you are. So I think Apple sort of missed the opportunity there, but at the same time they've shown a bit of arrogance because they've already given consumers a replacement in Touch ID on the side mounted iPad Air 2020, and apparently that's an even better version of Touch ID they did in the past. So why not just implement this onto the iPhone 12 series in general as well? It sort of seems a bit arrogant. I don't really like this from Apple. I feel like when you're paying a premium for a smartphone, you should have as much choice as possible. Now, Apple is sort of known to restrict your choices, and that's something that I'm saying coming from the Android side of the world, but I feel like this is more of a necessity given how we're progressing, and this thing isn't going to go away anytime soon. So if Apple is focusing on this being sort of a future smartphone with 5G and this being the next thing that's almost essential for you to stay connected, well, a fingerprint scanner or any sort of addition to that, whether that's in-screen or side-mounted, is almost as equally essential, if not even more, because 5G isn't even in its mature stage in most of the countries that this phone is available in. And yes, I know design decisions for a particular smartphone are made months in advance, but this thing has been around for months in advance too, so I don't see why Apple couldn't just put the two side by side, made sure they give consumers what they want, because I feel like at the end of the day, you're buying this smartphone that improves your lifestyle. And for a smartphone that gives you a core feature, takes away from the screen real estate, and still doesn't give you the experience that is intended given what the circumstances are, I feel like a tech giant like Apple could have done really much better. So yeah, those were my thoughts on Face ID on the iPhone 12 and the iPhone 11. A bit disappointing for sure. Make sure you are stay tuned for more videos. I want to compare the cameras, I want to compare the overall experience when it comes to performance, and I also want to compare 5G. So these are the few videos that you should look forward to in the next couple of days and weeks. So make sure you're subscribed once again. Thanks for watching. This was Vaibhav, and I'll see you in the next one. Adios.